For those of you, and we kind of assume that no one does know about us because this is our first Mom Cafe event, and I'll actually be honest with you, this is the first time we've spoken at a pretty much mom-only event. So we wanted to break away from tradition and ask you guys, because we technically supposedly have a half an hour, which I'm going to give you a warning, we never just do 30 minutes. What you really wanted to hear from us today. Does anyone have anything specific? Because we kind of feel that you probably might know about this story already, and you've probably been to the store, because you guys are all local, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything?
Yeah. I'm just wondering how you resolved your situation about your logo, because I saw the episode about everybody else using pink and brown and beige. And
so one suggestion is for us to talk about how, from the show, how we resolve the issues of the brand and the logo. Another suggestion?
I want to hear the story about how you ended up with the TV show on TV. I have a company with my best friend and would love to have her own company.
Okay. Oh, we'll give you the pros and cons of that.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I'd like to know the business versus your personal brand as well.
Okay, and another one is business versus personal. So that's about 30 minutes worth. Are you guys okay with that? Yeah, Heather will definitely get into the branding, because for those of you that know about us, that's what Heather does. I do all the franchise development pretty much, and Heather does everything creative, visual, branding. So I'll give her that question. So a bit of a background. I mean, Heather and I did grew up in Victoria when we were 15, and typical girlfriends. I think there's many of you in this room that often talked about starting a business together, or the dream of starting a business, but not really knowing what that was going to be. And you know, we grew up and went our own separate ways, and it always came back when we saw each other that we knew retail really well. We both had a great hard work ethic, and we loved our friendship. We loved working together, and we were working for this literally local organic odor neutralizing company that sold odor control in wastewater treatment plants. So it couldn't be more opposite than Cupcake. So if you can do that, you can do anything. And fortunately for us, but unfortunately for the situation, it took us to work at Ground Zero in New York in 2001, and I'm sure this is where most of you know where the story begins. And that was quite an experience, as you can imagine, but I wanted a distraction. So I took Heather to Magnolia Bakery, which in Cupcake world is, you know, the purveyor, and it's the one that kind of really got the trend starting. It was on SNL and Sex and the City, and you know, we're all very familiar with it. But before even it was on those shows, it was a really cool place. And I was staying in the Village, and I found it, and I took Heather there. And Heather was a bit claustrophobic, so she waited outside, and I just wanted to get some cupcakes. It wasn't anything but, let's just get some cool cupcakes, because where can you get a cupcake? In 2001. And we got back in the cab, had 4 cupcakes, and before we even got to the hotel, which was probably a 10-minute ride, Heather already was creating the brand in her head. She was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we're gonna do. And here I'm sitting there, not the visionary one between the two of us, going, we've never baked, we've never worked in the food industry, and I just wanted to get a damn cupcake, so can we just enjoy this and move on? And she was all about, there's no one doing this, how cool is it? She loved the whimsy of it, and she'll get into all that. But I so didn't get it, and I really, at the time, loved odor control in industrial parks. And I thought that that's what was going to be my future. And it took about 3 months for me to hit the glass ceiling at this company, and Heather and I, about 4 months, January 2002, we ran by the space on Devon Street. We hadn't talked about it because, of course, being best friends, I totally cut her down for the idea, and I thought she was crazy. I thought at the time there's no way you can open up a cupcake shop if you don't know how to bake or don't know anything about your product.